Right. Guys, let me know once you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yes, it's visible.
Good, good,
Yes,
good
sir, it's
guy.
visible.
Right, right. JavaScript. Yeah, you might get some bore when I again write same topics we are going to discuss it, but it is good when we have a strong basics that makes perfect almost. Yeah, basics are very important. First of all, what is the term? We frequently use a client to client, right, during the development. So client for us, for the developers, client. For the business people, client is different. For the developers, what is the client means? For the business people, for the sales people, client means the customers. But when it comes to our development sector, we frequently, yeah,
A
it
client is a
doesn't mean
user,
that,
right?
yeah, it doesn't mean that client, based on the scenario, based on the strategy, the meanings may be changing. Yes, sorry, carry on.
Uh, yeah, a client is a user, like who uses a application or something.
That is in terms of the business.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
in terms of the business, I 100% agree. But in terms of the development,
No, I don't know. So like, okay, client side in the sense front end, right? What we can see, the appearance.
exactly. I mean, yeah, you're near to the answer. Client meant here for us, for the developers, irrespective of the backend only, browser,
Yeah, the browser. Yes,
the
the
browser,
browser.
the browser. Right. What, yeah, whatever the customers, whatever the end users, whatever we pronounce, those are able to access our application through browser only. For us, browser is the client. So when customer do some operations, our browser has to act against the user actions. As we discussed or mentioned earlier, HTML is for design and JavaScript is to implement the client related functionality like validation, simple like validations, button click events, hyperlink, navigating to other pages. Those kind of a simple tasks we can implement with JavaScript. So that is the main core usage of the JavaScript. So to implement the logic, to implement any logic or functionality, to implement any logic or functionality, we use JavaScript. JS means JavaScript. The functionality to implement logic, we use JavaScript. So what is the benefit of the JavaScript? It is easy first, lightweight, flexibility. Lightweight means whatever, because right, browser almost handles the lightweight pages only, because when whether it is a React JS, whether it is Angular or Vue.js, whatever, if you have a lightweight implementation, lightweight controls, obviously the loading of the page will be the page will be loaded in a very less span of time. Response is maybe, if it is lightweight, obviously the response is more. Flexibility means it can combine with any technology, any OS. It can operate on any OS. So maybe the syntaxes maybe changes, but the core concepts are same. So that is the benefit of the JavaScript. So we can use the JavaScript with the .NET. We can use the JavaScript with Java. Any. The core concepts are same, but the scripting syntaxes, the scripting, the way it executes is the same. Yeah. What browser understands? See, when we write the code in a JavaScript, that is okay. We can able to read it because it's a human language. But how a browser can understand? What exactly the browser understand? 100% browser understand only JavaScript code. Browser always understand Only JavaScript. Right. Whatever we write the code, whether irrespective of the
Right?
front end. Yes, carry on. Sorry.
No, sir. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Right. Only JavaScript. You may ask me the question. Yeah, because we are going to learn React.js, right? Ah, right. React.js. React.js is derived from the JavaScript, so we will write the JavaScript also. But finally, from the React page, we will not, only render the HTML or something. It is a different than an HTML because we write, HTML code in a JavaScript file. But when browser, try to understand, it was expecting only the JavaScript because since, when it sees the file extension, our React.js file will be always .jsx or tsx or JS or TS. If it is .js, yes, browser understand, oh, yeah, I'm going to serve a JavaScript code. Okay, I'm fine. I feel flexible. Other than that, if it see the extension .jsx or .tsx or TS, it is unknown to the JavaScript, unknown to the browser. So again, it converts into a JavaScript and then it start, you know, rendering the whatever the content. So whatever the code we write, even the React greatest front-end technology, but finally it converts into a JavaScript because browser understand only the JavaScript. Please remember this. Yeah, you may ask me the question, who will convert that? Yes, during the with our commands, the procedure we follow, that automatically converts the code into JavaScript, which easily browser can understand. Any doubt, guys, so far? Ah, Babel, correct. Babel or we have third party compilers or transpilers, whatever, transistors, translators. So who converts of the React code into a you know JavaScript where browser can understand. Perfect. Babel is the translator or transpiler or compiler, whatever. Right? Clear. Clear, Rakesh? Oh, fine. So what is the what yeah, right. Yeah. We install this third party packages. I mean, earlier when when I start using the React, we used to install the Babel or the other party any plugin after creating the project. But now by default, while installing the React.js, the Babel also get integrated, so that we should not worry. If other than that Babel, if you want to use other compilers or translators, so we have to install it. According to that, we have to update our configuration files, right? Now, so how can we write a JavaScript? Yes, JavaScript always has an extension, legacy JavaScript file, JS. Let's create one JavaScript file. Yeah, that means we are not going to create a pure JavaScript file. In HTML, we will be seeing the types of the JavaScript, and then finally we'll see the external JavaScript. Yes, save it. .html, right? Right. HTML and the tag is body mandatory, body or footer? No. If we don't have any design, just like only executing the JavaScript, yeah, body also not mandatory. Let's see if it is mandatory, it will throw error. If not, let's keep it as it is. Yes. So where we write the JavaScript in the HTML normally, yeah, script tag type. How many modes we can implement the JavaScript? Anybody?
3 types.
1 second. Yes, exactly. Yes, please. Number one. First one.
Internal,
Internal. Hmm.
external JavaScript,
External. Correct. Hmm.
inline. Inline we cannot.
Inline we can. Hmm.
Inline also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inline, on-fly, dynamic, anything based on our count. Yeah.
Okay.
Internal, external, inline. Okay. Any priority? This three has any priority? Something which, because right, it is not a rule that I can only apply internal JavaScript for one control. No, we can apply three types of the JavaScript code on a single HTML control. If you apply, obviously control has to give the high priority, right? See,
Yes.
I have three students which has same equal, you know, demand. So it's my responsibility to give the priority. So what is the priority for these three modes? So if we have applied three on a single control. Anybody?
No. Uh, uh, okay. So if we apply JavaScript to the same thing,
Hmm.
okay, priority, I don't know, sir. But I have something that if we have a bigger project, it would always be better to write JSON in a separate file and then include that file using a link. That up to that extent, I know.
Sounds good. Yeah. So who is speaking? Okay, can you
Rakesh.
please uh, tell your name and so that I can understand everything. Yeah. Anyone else? Right. So inline JavaScript has the highest priority. So even though external internals applies on the same control, inline has highest priority. Okay. So this one, this one, this has highest priority. We'll check that. Next, external. It doesn't mean what is that priority. See, oh sorry. Yeah. So JavaScript or CSS first external get applies on the control. Okay, if only external implementation is there, it will affect on the apply on the control. Let's say for example, if internal JavaScript also there for the control applies on the control, then internal JavaScript code overwrites the external JavaScript or CSS implementation. If even we have applied the inline also, then inline implementation, whether it's CSS or JavaScript, overwrites the internal and external. Overwrites. See, all three are applies, but based on the priority, inline finally, if we apply inline, finally it overwrites the external and internal JavaScript or CSS. Clear, guys? How can we write the external CSS? We will be seeing last. So first we will see the internal JavaScript. Whatever we write in the script tag inside your HTML page, that is called as the internal JavaScript. So that means the implementation can be reused within this HTML only. In the HTML node, in this particular HTML node, we cannot reuse it in any other of the HTML. Inline means whatever we write in the HTML itself is called as an inline. So there will not be any specific JavaScript block, but the same we can write in the HTML. First, we will see the inline JavaScript, and I'll tell you the how the real time have this JavaScript implementations. Okay, let's first have body. Sorry, after the head. Anybody can help me the syntax inline JavaScript?
Click on chain.
In whatever. Okay. Then
We can apply the method submit.
uh, yeah, in generally events we supposed to call the JavaScript code, right?
Yes.
JavaScript. So if we have something in the JavaScript, we should call here, but we don't want a separate. We don't want that. We want to write the code here itself. Am I correct?
Yes. Yes.
Is the
Generally,
same?
we use a function, right, sir?
Huh.
Here.
See function. Now we want to call only alert. Alert is also a JavaScript method, right?
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
Single quote or double quote is acceptable in a JavaScript, but TypeScript it is not. It is always double quote only. Will it work, guys? Save it and see. Mhm.
You can apply the style.
No,
Let's
sir, we
check
have
whether
to
we have
tell
any
the
error.
console, right?
Hmm? Yeah. Problem is the size of the button, right?
Yes.
Right. What is the benefit here? What is the disadvantage here? Benefit? Yeah. We avoid the external a call to a JavaScript for simple operation. Okay. We avoid the JavaScript code, call. So what that is advantage? What is disadvantage? I cannot reuse the code for other control, right?
Yes.
Right. No reusability, because whatever we write the code, that is only applies on that particular control only. Let's say, for example, if you have written one function, in a JavaScript code, I can call that function to the n number of buttons if we want to the same code. So that is reusability. When we have a code in a JavaScript block, we can reuse the code. But when we apply the inline JavaScript, only works for that particular control. No reusability. Got it? Right. Now, right. This is called as inline JavaScript. So commenting also very important, whether it is the HTML or not. We use the comments in two ways. One is to provide some information. One is to comment that code which cannot be executed. So how can we comment the code? See, I want to give some notes here. So I want to have something. This is the comments in a HTML. Let's say I don't want to execute this one. Save it and see if it reflects, right? Commented code will not execute. So inline JavaScript, right? Now go to internal JavaScript. So internal JavaScript always we write in a script tag, whether it is in a header tag or whether it is in a border, it doesn't matter, as we have seen the difference between the script having in the header as well as in the end of the body. Okay. Any doubts regarding that? When should we use the script tag in the header and when should we use the script tag in the body? Right. So yesterday we have discussed that and we have seen the practical scenarios. Now Let's say, for example, yeah, wish me function, just a small program. We call it as a function, right? So someone console.log. Very good morning. How many members have knowledge, experience about the developer tool? Please raise your hands. How many members have experience with the developer tools and especially console.log?
Yeah, sir. I am actually aware of console.log
Excellent.
because that is the first way that I learned
Right.
uh, to output JS code.
Hmm.
And then I learned, I think, document.write. And
Internal
then I learned something else.
JavaScript. Right. Call this method wish me here. Right. So see, save it. Right. So when we click the click me, inlines works. When we click the internal JS, right. This is console. Console means there are more than one benefit with the console log. So developer tools, especially for the developer to debug the code when we have an issues, to debug the code from the browser side, especially, yeah, total flow, line by line debugging. So we go for the developer tools. So there are there are more benefits in with the developer. Mainly during the real time development, we go with sometimes inspector. To inspect means to inspect your HTML content which browser downloaded here to render this. Console means console always gives you the warnings, errors, any intermediate results if you want to check it on fly. So those kind of activities we can do in a console. Let's say for example I want perform some mathematical calculation here. See, right? Alert. See, right? If I want to do something rather than go to my code and check something and again save and so if you want to see some intermediate logic to be executed here itself, so we can go for console.log, right? It will, yeah, when you observe here we have error tab. It shows the error tab. Any warnings, it shows the warning and the logs, yeah, and then debug stuff, yeah. Next one, debugger. Yeah, you might have aware about that. If you want to debug any front end page, we come here, we open that particular file. The same procedure for Angular, React, any front end technology. So what's our page? This one, right? Right. It opens wherever we want. We have to left click on that particular. It enable the breakpoint. So let's check that. Click me or yeah, see, right, the debug here. Hey, how many types of debug modes we have? How many types of
You
debugs?
can use a debugger.
Huh,
Pointer
I
is pointer.
1 second. Types of debugger, debugging, as you said, one with the debugger keyword, right?
Yes.
Okay. Second one with the
Pointer.
developer tools, right?
Developer tool.
Again, in a developer tools we have two modes, right? F10 comma F11, right?
Yes.
Right. What is the difference? F10 and F11?
In F10, we can particular line we can.
Even F11 also, yeah. F10 is simple debugging. F11 is line by line deep debugging. Okay, simple debugging and deep debugging. I'll tell you. We will see that difference. Yes. So coming to the debugger keyword, yeah. See, we are not that much flexible with the developer tools, but we are okay to open the file and instead of if we are not clear about how to set the debugs, so we can put the debugger keyword wherever we want here. That's it. Save this one, refresh. See, yeah, breakpoint has gone debugger. Yeah, this is F10 line by line debugging. Right. In a console, message, right? Info or message. Where is that? One second. Yeah, very, yeah. So I would not suggest not to go with this debugger mode of debugging, because the problem is, right, so for during the debugging we put this debugger and somehow we forgot to uncomment this code, because right, when you have a debugger in your code, it while executing, right, so it pause your execution, because client won't open and see whether it has a debugger or something, right. It is good to not go with a debugger option. So which while on the live, it pause your execution, because when your code finds the debugger, it stop your execution. It is always go with the developer tools. So once we close the developer tools, sir, the breakpoints automatically remove. That is the advantage of the developer tools. I would recommend not to go with debugger. Still you want, yes, make sure that before you check in your code or push to repository, remove or uncomment. I would recommend remove, because we don't know, right, JavaScript in live, it goes the implementation, 1,000, 2,000 lines, 1,500 lines, blah 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 things. So it is very difficult for us to verify. Obviously we'll go for the global search, and if a single file has 10 debuggers point, so imagine how burden for the browser to handle this one, right. So I would recommend not to go with the debugger. Any doubts, guys, so far? Right. Comment that code. Right. Reusability. The benefit of having the implementation in the internal or external JavaScript blocks, so we can reuse the same code, which is not possible with the internal mode. So let's have one more button. Yeah, the same function, the same code, we can reuse as many times as per our requirement. Very good one. Same code. 2 times. See, right? Count is increasing. 3. Same function. 4 times. So reusability is there with the internal and external JavaScript. Any doubts, guys? So far? Right. Let's see how can we access the external JavaScript, because again, external JavaScript also reusability, but we will have a separate dedicated JavaScript file. So, right, let's create one file. Okay, save it. Common functionality, something like. Usually we will name it as a common.js since we have common.js. Okay, common number 23.js. Usually in real time, common.js we will put it. Yes. Let's take this same. We don't need any JavaScript tag, all those stuff. Since this is a dedicated JavaScript file, let's say, yeah, fine. Right. Yeah. Very, very good morning. This is from external JS file. Instead of this, document.write. We'll explain you what is this document.write. Right. Say. So how can we integrate that external JavaScript file into our HTML? Anybody? It's a ref or HRF. Guys, can anybody can help me the syntax?
Uh, so
Anybody?
we need to look at the file, sir. That's it.
So sorry.
No, sir. Like, what do we actually need? We
So
just
we are not able to, find this file. I mean, we are not able to interact with this common JS or any syntax error here.
I don't think so. But, so is this file and the other file, other HTML file in the same folder, sir?
Yeah, both are in the same folder.
Okay. But for script, do we have to use href or link as an attribute?
That's what I'm asking. Link. I hope it's for uh, this one CSS
Sir, I think we have to use source, src.
source. Yes.
src.
Hmm.
Let's just check.
Wish me external. We did not save it. Say. Wish me external is not defined. So source only, right?
Source only, yes, sir. It is source.
Hmm. Type, I don't think so. Not mandatory for the HTML. So why it is
No, sir, we don't need it here.
time is equal to let's. Okay, why should we take the risk? Maybe a path. Maybe a problem. Let me check with this.
Sir, I have shared in chat. Okay.
Thank you, guys. W33, huh?
Java development.
Right? The
You
problem,
got it.
yeah. The problem is two. One is attribute. Instead of source, we have used href. That is correct. Second one is since both your since your JavaScript file and your HTML file both are in the same folder, we can directly mention the name. We don't need any, path, full path of the file. Got it?
Okay.
See, right? Right. So when we click the external JS, very, very good morning. This is from the external. Got it? Yes. How to debug that JavaScript? How can we confirm that this HTML given a call to the JavaScript? Obviously, put a debugger there in a common dot CS. Put the debugger here. Okay. Let's refresh the page. External JS. Right. So we are in the common norm.js. So this is the JavaScript file. So step, right? Now where we are, right here. So the same file, this common.noun.js, I can use in multiple HTML files, right? With the same syntax. Just include the
Yes.
script tag and then I can use it. Yeah, in real time also, when we have a project in module wise, right? Folder hierarchy. So we will create a separate, a common folder inside that common JS or something, inside that we will put all the global JS functionality which can be reused by the all modules. And yeah, each module has its own set of, again, each file has its own JavaScript block. So in generally we have two kinds of JS functionalities we implement during the real time. One is common JS functionality which we place in a common folder, so any of the HTML UI can import it and use it, and a specific dedicated JS to that particular file. Any doubts, guys? Right. We have 3 minutes. Please, if you have any doubts, please, raise it and get it clarified here. Today, we have seen three modes of the React implementation: inline, internal, external. Right. In our next JS session, we will be checking the priority of the JS. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. See you in tomorrow's class. Thanks, everyone.